My next guest will fight Neiman Gracie next Saturday, September the 12th at Bellator 246. And of course, it is Jon Fitch himself. Jon, how are you?
I'm doing great, man.
Well, I'm happy to have you back, and it's been over a year since we've talked, and what a great fight. I mean, you and Neiman Gracie, that's a big one. What was the main factor bringing you out of retirement to take this fight?
The challenge of the extreme circumstances. It just seemed like it would be a fun challenge to fight in front of no one, to train out in the garage, to, I had to lose about 40 pounds or more. I was like 218 in April. Challenges. It's fun to get out there and try something new and different. I'm old dog, but I still got a lot of fight in me. And the matchup with Neiman is such a great matchup. And I think just a number of things fell into place where it seemed like it was the right thing to do.
Well, I know the fans are very excited to see you back inside the Bellator cage. Tell me, what has this, I guess, training camp been like? You talked about, setting up kind of a gym in your garage and getting a lot of work in there. How have you been able to get into AKA at all? What has that whole balance been like?
I've been able to get into AKA a little bit over the past few months because, just training here and there. But at one point, somebody did get COVID, and so everybody kind of stopped going in, and everybody had to get tested to go back. But I've been, focusing on a lot of cardio and drilling and other things that I don't really need to go in and be at AKA, even without the lockdown. I don't need to do the hard sparring rounds 3 times a week like I used to do. I know how to fight. I just need to be healthy and in shape and have my head in the right place.
Who have been some of those main training partners that have been coming over, giving you work?
Well, I've gotten a chance to work with Ed Ruth, Yuri Samoas. I got a young guy, who's got no amateur fights, but he'll hopefully get some fights soon and make a name for himself. And then just my training, my coach Gary Owens and doing some ground stuff. And mostly, I'm doing a lot of bike and cardio work. Yeah, piecing things together, feeling good.
Now, you said you got up to 218 pounds. Do you normally get that heavy, or is this just something that?
I was mostly retired, and over the last year, I didn't do much. I made weight for, when Neiman and Rory fought. I made weight just in case as a backup, in case they needed me to step in. And after that, I took 8 weeks off. I didn't do anything. I stuck to my diet, my meal plan. I stayed on that, and I stayed lean and ripped. And then after that 8 weeks, I started lifting again, and then mostly on my meal plan, but I was eating bigger portions of protein and, kid snacks every once in a while. So the weight, the kid snacks, and the whiskey, can't leave out the whiskey, beefed me up a little bit. And, the beginning of the quarantine, probably put on an extra 10 pounds in the quarantine because there wasn't much else to do but eat and drink.
Yeah, that happened to me too. So I feel your pain. Now, you did come out with a new book, I think fairly recently. It's called The Weight Cut Bible. Tell me a little bit about that and how have you been able to kind of, there you go, right there. Perfect. How have you been able to use your, I guess, techniques and the things that you do out of that book for this camp?
Yeah, well, the meal plan is the big part of it. My discipline and sticking with that allows me to set a baseline for my body and how my body feels, and then it's so regular. I know what my weight is going to be, after what I eat, my workouts, I do whatever. I can guess about how much I've lost or how much I've put on. Just as long as I've been doing the sport and as long as I've been using this meal plan, it makes it pretty easy to keep track of it. I even know how much time I need in my little sauna to lose how much weight.
What do you weigh right now? I know we're still a week out.
I was 185 today.
Okay, so that'll be a piece of cake getting that last 15 off for you here come fight night.
I don't know about piece of cake, but it's doable, and I probably put on 5 to 7 pounds of muscle. So the last 2 pounds are going to be a little bit interesting, I think, because I'm way leaner now at 185 than I usually am at like 180.
Yeah. When do you leave for Mohegan?
We leave on Monday.
Okay. And are they going to have obviously all the necessities there for you to cut the weight and to do what you need to do to make weight?
I'm going to double check, but what I've heard is that we are being supplied with a portable sauna, far infrared sauna. So hopefully we'll be able to get those and use those. I have one of my own, but I got to double check, make sure they're providing them for us, because I don't want to like leave it at home thinking either.
Yeah.
Honest for you.
For sure, and that's definitely important. Make sure you have that there to help you in this last week. As far as who's making the trip with you to the Mohegan, I understand you're only allowed to have 3 corners, even though you are the co-main event. Who will be there in your corner come fight night?
Crazy Bob is always in my corner. My longtime stand-up coach Gary Owens will be there, and then Coach Mo, got a gym called Rhinos in Indiana. It's like one of the first gyms I trained at before I
Has Bellator been making you do, I guess, Zoom COVID tests prior to, now? Like, how many times have you done that? And do you know what that routine is going to be like next week?
We did one the other day, and we did the swabs. Doctor walked us through the steps of doing the swabs and mailed that in. When we get there, I think that Monday we are quarantined and tested. First layer of security, we won't be able to see anybody. Access to the workout rooms till Tuesday. So yeah, they'll take us step by step. I think before weigh-ins on Friday, we'll get tested again. And then I don't know if there's a third one before the fight, or if that one before the weigh-in is the last.
Okay. And I got to get your take, I guess, just on this whole pandemic and, what's been going on in our country and whatnot. I mean, I know you have your own YouTube channel and your own podcast. You talk a lot about, everything really. But I mean, what's your whole, I guess, take on everything that's been going on, and what has it been like in your part of California?
Man, so it's weird. Some people are very afraid and very nervous about the COVID stuff, and people are just completely dismissive of it and don't care. I went to the Midwest a couple weeks ago in, Indiana. The 90% of people, you wouldn't even know there was a lockdown at all. And then I stepped on the Purdue campus, and it's like everybody is crazy lockdown. So there's a real contrast between kind of like blue collar working people and what they think of the stuff, and then the people who are on the far left liberal educated spectrum. So it's a weird divide to witness. And I mean, I don't know, man. I haven't trusted anything the media has said since 9/11 and weapons of mass destruction. They lost my trust a long time ago, and I refuse to keep going back to these people. If you lie to me once real big, like I'm not gonna like give you a second chance. Sorry. Especially if you're the news media. These people didn't lose their jobs. Nobody got fired. Nobody went to jail. Nothing happened except 1 million people died in Iraq. That's enough for me to not listen to CNN, Fox News, and MSNBC. They're all liars, and they got people killed. You gotta take kind of what they tell you with a grain of salt. I think this is to kind of kill the middle class and kind of buy up all of the debt. And it seems like the central banks are buying everything. And yeah, I don't know. It almost seems like they planned this. But that's conspiracy theory. What do I know?
I appreciate you talking to me a little bit about that. Now, I do understand, you got a new dog, you're in a new house. I believe actually the last time we talked, you were moving into your new house. How has life been for you? I mean, a lot of new changes, and you're coming back to fight. I mean,
really good. I've got a really good perspective on what's going on. I've got good ideas about, where I'm going and what I'm going to do for making money outside the cage. There's a lot of growth that's happened over the last year. I'm in a really, really good place. Getting the dog is, kind of a sign to that, because I feel comfortable enough to take on another piece of responsibility. Like my kids are old enough and responsible enough where they're like helping out, and that stuff's cool. So life's really good right now.
And you're all settled into the house. I understand you can't fit your truck inside the garage, so that's why you
decided to turn it into a gym. Kids actually just getting dropped off right now. But yeah, garage into a workspace in a gym. But yeah, so yeah, I turned the garage into a workspace. I have 10 by 10 space for my weights and resistance training. I got 10 by 10 space for podcasting and recording stuff. And then I got the other half of the garage is my heavy bag and mats. And I did a pretty good job. I think it looks nice.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely happy for you. Things do really seem to be going well for you. Your YouTube channel, your podcast, you're killing it there. So congratulations. And let's dive into this fight with Neiman Gracie. I mean, when you take a look at him, obviously, you know, the Gracies are known for their jiu-jitsu. What kind of a fight stylistically do you feel like you're going to have come next Saturday?
No, he's really he's got slick jiu-jitsu, but I would say slick positional jiu-jitsu. Like he'll get you to make mistakes. He'll get to the back. Like he's looking kind of to get to the back to make his finishes. That's where he's usually going to finish. I got to be careful everywhere, but, you know, I just have to win every position. If there's a positional battle, I got to come out on top. You know, cardio, I don't think anybody really matches me in cardio, even as an old man. So I know I can push him and make him breathe heavy. I think I've got more strength, more power. I've got a lot of tools that I can still use. And, you know, I'm not old enough for him to get by on me because I'm old man. I don't always on age and treachery over youth and beauty.
Well, do you think this is going to be a dog fight, you know, go the distance, or do you feel like you might be able to get him out of there early in the fight?
You know, if I could use speed and you know, if I can not fight for 15 minutes, that's great. But like I fought so many times, 25 minutes. 15 minutes is already a walk in the park.
Mm. What is your official prediction here for the fight?
You know, I'd like to finish him in the second. I think I can take care of him.
Okay. I gotta ask, are you a little disappointed it's not Rory McDonald coming back to fight, or are you actually happy that's a different opponent?
I mean, whatever. I gave up on hoping and whatever a long time ago about this stuff because it's not. I mean. The fights are real, but they're exhibitions. It's not a sport. It doesn't operate as a sport. It's not legally a sport. Like no other sport in the world operates in this way. When a promoter, a team owner, or an event organizer controls both the title and exclusive contracts, it's corrupt. It's corrupt at its core. It can't be sport. It goes against the name of sport. No other sport in the world, amateur or professional, operates in that sense. We are pro wrestling minus the predetermined outcomes. That's just the way it is right now.
Is this a one-off fight for you? Are you planning on fighting after this, depending on if it goes well, or?
At this point, I'm taking all of them one at a time. Even the Rory fight was one at a time. We'll see how it goes, have fun with it, and then we'll see what happens after.
Very cool. Well, again, Jon, I really appreciate the time. Very excited to see you back inside the cage, and I look forward to seeing you there at the Mohegan next weekend. Before I let you go, if there's anyone you'd like to thank or anything you'd like to plug, the floor is yours.
Yeah, check out jonfitch.net. Sign up for my newsletter. You can find my books. You can find my podcast. Find everything I'm doing on the website. That's the best place to find me.
Awesome. Thanks again, my friend. I'll see you next week.
Good talking to you, Brian.
Hey, you too, Jon. Thank you.